DAZN gets at Teofimo Lopez after loss to George Kambosos. They basically say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. So stay tuned. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Ew, what up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I don't know how you found my video, but somehow, some way, you made it. You all arrived at the content. Reach one, teach one, help others find the content. Let me jump into the mix right now as we speak. Devin Haney fight week, Tank Davis fight week. Teofimo just had a fight week, and the other picture of Ryan, we don't know when he's coming back. So DAZN posted this graphic on the fight week for Devin Haney versus Jojo Diaz. Should be a good fight. I'm doing the Boxing Ego watch party. Come back this Saturday. You don't want to miss him. Ryan Garcia. So they pulled everybody's stats. Ryan Garcia. He has 8.7 million followers on the gram. Even though he's been inactive, those are his stats, right? Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Devin Haney, he has 1.9 or 1.1, excuse me. And even though he just fought, Teofimo is in third place, 769,000. Now, on top of it being Devin's fight week, a lot of the reason this is coming up is because on a DAZN show, it was really the Mikey Garcia versus Sando fight where Mikey Garcia was upset, just like Teofimo was upset in their last bouts. Devin Haney and Teo had this on air and off air, like one was on the telecast and one was not on the telecast, confrontations. And let's listen to what was said.
We don't fight for free here. Devin, what was that conversation like? He's not going to do a motherfucking thing, so we ain't got to worry about nobody fighting. But anyways, continue. Well, what was that conversation like for you moments ago?
How does it feel that you got to, the only way you're relevant is through me?
Relevant through you? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's the only way.
I was relevant before you.
You hold that WBC belt.
What are you talking about? You're a clown, bro. You're a clown. So how I'm relevant? How I'm relevant because of you? But I got more followers than you. I have more followers than you. What are you talking about?
Look what it did to Ryan Garcia. We all talk about.
So I'm relevant because of you, but I have more followers than you.
I hold as a world champion.
Look how much money I make, more than you.
No, you don't.
Okay, Eddie. Do we want to ask Eddie?
No, you don't.
Do we want to ask Eddie?
You talk about followers.
All right then.
This is the problem with society today. You see what I'm saying? You see, that's the problem with society today.
Exactly.
It's all about followers. It's not about followers. That's why you guys fake it till you make it, right?
Make what? What are you talking about?
You've always
you want to make the fight happen or not? Devin.
So hopefully you guys could hear that loudly and clearly. Now, this altercation has come back to bite Teofimo in the butt. And I know I'm great. I know I make this boxing look good. The great Ego Stradamus strikes again. After I initially seen that, which was at least a month or weeks before Teofimo just fought Kambosos and lost his belt, I told you that was a bad look. To me, Devin Haney sunned him. Devin Haney got the better of that verbal exchange if we're scoring. You know, I look at boxing, I come from hip hop, you know, and acting and like, you know, just music and just creative endeavors or whatever. So in the world of hip hop, you know, I oftentimes relate boxing to it because of the competitive stuff. And at the end of the day, boxing is really analogous with hip hop in many ways. So when I look at these verbal sparrings, because it's not an actual fight, but when I look at verbal sparrings and altercations, I look at it almost as if it's a battle rap. And if that was a battle rap, then, you know, Teofimo got 30'd. So I told you that in real time right after it happened. And now those words have come back to bite Teofimo. Because look, DAZN's roasting him, talking about Devin Haney was right. The IG numbers don't lie, you know. And Devin Haney sunned him and said, what are you talking about? I'm relevant because of you. I was relevant before you, which is facts. Like, listen, I tell you on my channel all the time, we got to start holding people in boxing. This is the altercation. This is altercation. We got to start holding people in boxing accountable. The most dangerous thing in the world is a camera and a microphone. We got to start holding boxers, promoter, whoever accountable for what they say. People get loose lip in front of cameras, and really in this social media age, it's mind blowing. They just spout out whatever nonsense that they want to say on that given time. And we got to change that. We got to change that notion. I told you then and now. Look how consistent I am on the channel. I said Teofimo lost that verbal sparring, that altercation, because one, it's not about just saying something. It's about, are you saying something that's accurate? Teofimo says, you're only relevant because of me, which is cap. And if you listen to what Devin Haney said, Devin said, how am I only relevant because of you and I make more money than you? That's a fact. Teo is like, no, you don't. No, you don't. But then an article just came out saying that Teofimo, who got paid $1 million plus purse for Lomachenko last October, November 2020, they're saying he got $20,000 to his name in his bank account before the Kambosos fight. So I told you all this in real time. It's okay as a competitor. Like if Teo felt like he'll whoop Devin, which is highly questionable since he lost to somebody who wasn't, revered quite like Devin Haney in terms of George Kambosos. No disrespect to him, but I'm just talking about in terms of the profile and what was expected, right? People know Devin Haney can box and he's a top talent. But I told you, look at his necklace, look at Teofimo's little chain, and, it's not even about pocket watching. It's just you got to say stuff that actually makes sense. And Devin Haney was talking his talk, and then you had Teofimo who was trying to refute it. Look at it. He got ice and drip and, and Teo was like, no, I make more money than you. But then we find out that they say he has $20,000 to his name. None of this stuff was true. He also said, like I said earlier, you're only relevant because of me, which is cap. Because if we're really being honest, me as a boxing journalist, announcer, analyst, YouTuber, podcast, whatever you want to call me, I knew about Devin Haney well before I ever had heard of Teofimo, because Devin Haney was making noise as an amateur, and everybody, including Eddie Hearn, PBC, Top Rank, they all wanted to sign him. And Eddie Hearn got to him and with the bag or whatever, and then he ended up signing it. So we knew about Devin Haney when he was, me personally, he was like probably 14, 15 when I was like seeing him sparring. So what Teofimo is saying is, Teofimo started emerging when he started doing them Fortnite dances and getting crazy knockouts on Top Rank undercards and stuff like that, which was years later. We knew about Devin when he was a preteen, you know what I mean? So all of what Teo was saying has now come back to bite him in the bottom, like I said, because it's one thing to say these things, but it's another thing to, have it be accurate and pass the fact checkers. And from saying he's making more money than Devin, which we know is not true. I told you then, and I'm saying now, look at, again, how consistent I am on my channel, And then there's another thing that rubbed me the wrong way that Teofimo said when he had this altercation with Devin, because we know it, again, was cap. He said that Devin Haney, I'm the guy with all the belts, which, okay, whatever. He has all the belts except for the WBC regular belt that Devin Haney has. But the part he said was that you guys had an opportunity to fight Lomachenko and you didn't take it. He said something very close to that. I'm just paraphrasing. And that's nonsense, and it's not true, because Devin Haney and Bill Haney were advocating for a Lomachenko fight. Devin Haney, after one of his wins, maybe Antonio Moran or whatever, was calling Lomachenko out on the mic at the post-fight in-ring interview. He said, yeah, I want to fight Lomachenko. I'm going to call him Nomachenko, right? So where's Teo talking about saying that Devin Haney had an opportunity to fight Lomachenko? You know, Top Rank and Team Lomachenko, they petitioned to the WBC and franchised him to get Devin Haney out of the way so he couldn't be in the conversation. But then Teofimo, again, one of the many lies that he said in that Devin Haney conflict or confrontation on the DAZN telecast for the Mikey fight, was that you had an opportunity and I'm the only one that stepped up. Now, another reason why this has been hurtful to Teofimo, on top of all the other lies we discussed, you got DAZN rehashing it and reopening the scab and saying, oh, numbers don't lie. Look, Devin Haney you just fought. Devin Haney hasn't fought. He about to fight this weekend. And he still got more followers. Usually after a person fights and it's supposed to be a big, high profile fight, you'll see if they have a good performance, like Andy Ruiz when he beat Joshua. I had on Instagram more followers than Andy Ruiz on my old Instagram. This is 1000% factual information. I had more followers on my Instagram at the time than Andy Ruiz. But when Andy Ruiz beat Anthony Joshua, all the Fairweather fans and all the people who were impressed, his numbers shot up, and then he hit into the millions, you know? So usually after great performances where you put the world on notice, then you go up because it's a boost. Teofimo just fought on the same platform Devin Haney's about to fight DAZN, and he still ain't caught up to Devin Haney, and he just had a fight that was a good fight with George Kambosos, but it was a loss. So if he would have had a spectacular knockout, maybe his sub count would have grown exponentially. But, you know, how he conducted himself and saying he won and coming across as a poor sport or sore loser, that's not it. And you didn't see his number jump. And now DAZN, who just hosted Teofimo, a visiting fighter, they reiterating that to boost Devin Haney, and by roasting him, say, hey, look, Devin Haney was accurate. So everything that Teo said, unfortunately for his case, in that interview with Devin Haney was cap. He said all these things, and Devin Haney was right, and Devin Haney truly got the best of it. And if you listen to this altercation, once again, he said one thing. He said, I'm more relevant than you. And he said, I make more money than you. Teofimo denied it, which we already talked about. They're saying he got $20,000 in his bank account and has to pay alimony or possibly going through a divorce separation with his girl, blah, blah, blah. Bob Arum, even though he didn't promote Teo's last fight, get a cut of his money. You know, his management, his dad, DAZN, you know, everyone getting a cut. The number one bidder, Triller, defaulted. So the secondary bidder who bid half of what Triller bid, $3 million versus $6 million plus, right? They end up getting the fight in the end. So none of what Teo said was true, you know. But the other thing is he languished and said, oh, I got all the belts though. Now you don't even have that. So this is a complete fail. If we look in hindsight, what Teo said, everything's a fail. You said you're more relevant, cap. You said Devin had an opportunity at Lomachenko, but that's cap because they franchised him. You said you make more money than him, cap. You said that you're the guy with all the belts, so you're the man. You also said you're bigger than Gervonta Davis. All this is not true. You know, people get mad at me for speaking the truth. Like, oh, give it a rest. I'm not giving it a rest. I'm not going to ever rest on the truth. The truth is the truth. And whoever don't like it, that's something you got to internalize and deal with. But everything I'm saying is fact. Let me know how I did in this video. This interview has definitely come back to bite young Teo. We'll see how he bounces back. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. And I'm out. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster.